Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, bonjour, buongiorno, bon dia, buenos dias, guten morgen, ohayo gozaimasu. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you are watching STEPHE'S talk show. I'm Steph. Welcome. I'm getting better and better at this. I feel like I'm getting fluent in multiple languages. And this is just me, Stephanie, being myself. To be honest, I love to travel. I love to talk all the languages and practice them. I'm already speaking 6 languages, by the way. But listen, I'm all about living the life to the fullest. And I'm going to start this video, I'm going to open the topic of this video just by asking you a simple question, literally coming from the bottom of my heart. And it's a very simple question. I need you to really focus on this one. Pay attention. And here is my question. How are you? Yeah, you see, this is a simple question, but truth is, we live in a world where asking simple questions seems like you are coming out as being awkward, as being weird, as being out of the box. You know, you're not part of the system. You're not part of the society system. We are at the point that we forget to just the meaning of this question from the very beginning. When we were asking, how are you? The meaning was actually to ask that person you're asking this question, how that person is, you know what I mean? And so today we just go around and, see each other. Hey girl, how are you? But, you're already done. I mean, your mind is already somewhere else. You're not taking time anymore to just wait for the answer and actually check on that person. So here I am, as Steph, as the mindset coach that I am deep inside, asking you, how are you? And literally, I want you to sit down right now and just think about it. Relax. How do I feel today? You know what I mean? Happy, relaxed, calm, frustrated, upset, out of my mind, losing it for real, stressed. Basically, once you can answer that question, you then think about what's coming next. And what's coming next is simple as that. If I'm happy, relaxed, and calm, I'm doing things well. That means there is something that I'm doing that it's working. You know what I mean? There is something that is working. Now, opposite side. I'm stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm losing my mind. I'm just not getting it. And then you got to start asking yourself right here, what should I do to just get to the other side of it, to make it right? Because the whole purpose of life is not for you to be constantly stressed and overwhelmed, but to actually get that balance, that inner peace that makes you feel alive, relaxed, healthy, because you can take care of yourself, but also take care of those that you love. That's why it is a big deal. So when I'm asking you, how are you? I really want you to realize how you feel. Are you today? And where are you going? And I'm not going to go much further into these subjects, but I just want you to get this message clear. You matters. You are the key of your success. And that means your biggest work should be here, should be yourself. Your biggest work in every single life, every single goals that you're going after, every single subject, every single day. You wake up, you are your priority. You going outside, you are your priority. You going on a stage, getting started to show off, you are your priority. Everything start here. And I think you get my point. Okay, so let's go to the next subject, which is all about money, because money is part of our mental health. Unfortunately, that's a truth. That's a truth in the world we live in today, but also because obviously my talk show is about mindset, but it's also about business and investments. And it's about doing the right investment, about being smart with money, to be honest with you. And I'm giving a quick shout out to my people, which is my ladies, my girls, my queens, my leadership queens. You know, men get to be raised and to be navigating into this world actually with some basic about money management. You ladies, we ladies also, but at a different level, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, because we are actually, based on the society, once again, we are actually not supposed to be the providers. But this is 2025, so now we wrote it out. We wrote it all. We just shine under the house, under the money, under the wallet, under the family, under it all. We handle it all. So no question asked, and I think this is actually fucking bold. This is bold. That's it. Okay, let's talk about money, and today I have decided to focus on the shifting map of money, Asia, Africa, and the new global investment order. So the whole point is just to realize that money is not anymore about US or Europe, even China. China is on the top 3 in the list, but is also reaching out to what we call the emerging market, right? India, Africa, Latin America, Middle East. And I believe that today, if you want to be smart with your money, and if you want to have success investing, you have to start digging outside of US, outside of Europe, and just focus on Africa. For me, number 1 is Africa. That's only my point of view, but Africa right now, to be honest with you, if you're smart, if you're an entrepreneur focused, and you just know how to gamble with money, Africa is the place to be. That's it. But yeah, in 2023, apparently India attracted more foreign investment than all of the European Union combined. India is also quite a big target. So personally, I work a lot with Indians, but I haven't had time to explore the Indian market in terms of investment, in terms of real estate, in terms of wealth preservations, just being smart with money in India. I do know though, that I'm aware that this is definitely a growing market, and this is definitely a market that we need to look a little bit more, pay attention a little bit more for my aspiring investors, aspiring entrepreneurs. Any of you watching this video, it's an interesting market. Another data, the Middle East sovereign wealth funds now control over $4 trillion in assets, more than the GDP of Germany. So once again, Middle East, we all are aware of the Middle East. Thank you for Dubai. But you have Oman, Kuwait. The whole Middle East is just banging, and it's keep banging. It's been banging for the last 10 years, more or less. But I have to say that in terms of money growth, investment growth, capital growth, Middle East is like skyrocketing financially in terms of investments from one year to another year, where everything is kind of still balancing and staying very much the same every year after year after year after years in Europe. That's giving you just an idea. Capital, money, investment growth is on the move. And for decades, Wall Street and London were the centers of global finance. But today, money is flowing east and south, and it's changing the world economy. So why the shift is happening? Slow growth in the West can be a reason. US facing debt pressure, Europe with sluggish economies. Fast growth elsewhere. I'm trying to pronounce it perfectly. I'm working on my English. Perfect. Like I said, I'm speaking 6 languages. I'm still working on my English, okay? So don't take it personally. But yeah, what I was saying, I'm lost now already. Yeah, fast growth elsewhere. So India growing at 6 to 7%. Africa as the world's youngest population, the world's youngest population. Do you know what that means? That means a room of opportunity, a river of opportunity. And once again, big up Africa. And new money players, Middle East oil revenue are being invested globally. Something that I was already aware, to be honest with you, because I'm watching a lot about global business markets in general in every countries. Right now I'm LATAM, by the way. LATAM, also LATAM regions. For those who don't know what LATAM regions is the Latin American regions. It's also there. Now I have to say it's probably a little bit slower than Middle East and Africa, but it's coming. I definitely know it's coming for at least for the next 10 years. We get in there. So once again, thinking of investment, thinking on sourcing investment opportunity, don't be shy. LATAM is also part of the game. And last but not least, tech leapfrogging. Africa leads in mobile payment. True. And India is building its own tech giants. Once again, India is in the race, Africa as well, and the Middle East. Latin America is last on the list, but that's only, once again, my point of view. I still believe that if you're pretty good with your Spanish, I think that's going to be pretty much your priority, I would say. But otherwise, yeah, Africa and the Middle East and India are definitely working hard, for sure. They're pushing to just grow their capital. Let's dig into the regional spotlights. India and South Asia. So in India, fastest growing major economy, booming tech startup ecosystem. Yes, once again, this is a real fact. This is exactly what's going on in India. And I put some example like Flipart, Paytm, and global interest in Bangalore. Southeast Asia, like Vietnam, India, we most of the time don't think about them, but they are here. Quiet, but they are here. Attracting supply chain as companies diversify from China, mostly. But Americans are in the race too when it comes to the Southeast Asia and the Middle East, of course, and of course, Russia. Now, Middle East, the sovereign wealth funds like Saudi, PIF, Qatar, and UAE investing billions in tech, sports, and infrastructure. So that literally talks to me because I am one of those persons who like, obviously, to invest as well. I'm also an investor, and I like to invest a lot in sport. I'm just a sport addict, sport in general, but I'm mostly Formula One, golf, tennis are my top 3. But other than that, yes, to be honest with you, right now I'm sourcing investment opportunities in the Middle East, and sport is my priority, but obviously there is also tech and infrastructure, which also are, if it's something that you have some interest, you can obviously look into it and source some good investment opportunity over there. I have an example with Saudi's NEOM City project, NEOM City project, which cost $500 billion. And of course, the oil money being used to diversify into future industry. Hello, Middle East. But they definitely I think Middle East is in the top of the race when it comes to investments opportunity. And Africa right after, and that's where we are going to proceed with Africa now, where population set to double by 2050, as per source that I found, obviously, on internet. But I also, as somebody that spent some time in Africa, and mostly in Angola and South Africa and Angola, the population is young. The population is young, but also motivated. They are motivated, literally. And this is why Africa is definitely going to be, is the place to be honest. Is already the place to be to invest. Next, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa leading in fintech. True. Example, M-Pesa, Mobile, Money in Kenya, Stripe, and other global VCs entering African startups. I myself use Stripe, which I think is a very good platform. So it works. It works. All right, Geopolitics of Capital. I just put few key information regarding geopolitics of capital. US and China reshaping investments. True. De-dollarization, the BRICS nation discussing alternative to the US dollars. And as myself being also part-time a resident of the UK, that's definitely talks to me, but that's definitely something you should pay attention in terms of, discussing alternative to the US dollar. Personally, what I think about the US dollar today, if America doesn't pay more attention to all the shifting that is going on right now in the world and with our favorite president, American president, US is kind of starting to be unstable, and you know what I mean? When it comes to instability in investment and money, we need something to be stable. And right now, US dollars is not. Some sanctions push countries like Russia or Iran to trade outside Western system. And new trade corridors. China's Belt and Road Initiative vs the Western friends shoring. Money is no longer just about returns. That's how I'm going to close this subject in terms of geopolitics of capital. Money is no longer just about returns. It's about power. Have you paid attention to that? Have you realized it already? It's about power. Think about it. Now that I mentioned the whole shifting and following the money from Africa, Middle East, Latam to Asia, obviously we cannot talk about this shifting of money and not talk about, obviously, the risks that comes with it. There are risks. We are not, going to avoid it. We're not going to lie. I'm not going to lie about it. There are risks. But there are risks as well in Europe, as well in America. I mean, when it comes to money and investing it, you need, first of all, to be patient, smart, and do it like literally. First of all, you need to do your market research and everything, but do it with people that you trust, company that you trust. If you ever going to invest in any company or work with any, collaborate with any other businesses, trust before anything else. And yeah, there are risks and there are opportunities in those emerging markets. New markets means higher growth potential. Tech leapfrog means chance to invest in the next Silicon Valley. Energy transition means trillions in renewable projects. Those are opportunities. And when it comes to risk, political instability needs to be taken into consideration. Currency volatility, just like I mentioned when it comes to the US dollars, for example. But all of those emerging markets are with their own currency, obviously, are strong currency volatility and regulations and protectionism. Regulation and protectionism. So yeah, this is just to recap a little bit of what I just mentioned. So be careful with your money. I will be honest with you. I'm not the smartest one in this topic, but I'm curious enough to know where to go, to know where to dig in, and to know how and with who. And because I've been traveling a lot in my life, been traveling for the last 12 years now, 12 years traveling all over the world. And I always say, and when I mean it strongly, when I said all over the world, because I literally went from Antarctica to the Arctic. So I literally went on the top and on the bottom of the planet. I've been in Asia. I've been in Africa. I'm from Europe. I'm also half European, but also half Caribbean. So I can even tell you about the Caribbean. And by the way, hello, my people. And this is just a thing, you know. I'm not pushing for you people to just, you know, let's see what Steph has to say, because I'm not perfect and we can do some mistakes. But what I'm saying is, by even for yourself, be the first one to take charge. That's it. Take charge of your decision, take charge of how you will be dealing with your money, and take charge of the investment opportunities that you are interested in, to digging in, make your research, etc., etc., etc. It counts, it matters. And here is the closing takeaway that I put together as well. I put on some takeaway here. For 50 years, Wall Street and London set the tone for global finance, but today investors count in Bangalore, Riyadh, Lagos, or Nigeria, just to mention a few. And I'm even going to add Jakarta, and I'm even going to add Panama in the LATAM region. The world's money map is redrawn, and those who follow the shift may find the future's biggest opportunities. If you had $1 million to invest today, would you still put it in the New York or London, or would you bet on the next frontier? I've never been part of those people who will be investing in New York or London. I always invest elsewhere, because I believe in giving opportunities to those who don't have it. I love Africa, and I love the Latin, Caribbean, and I love India. And I know per fact, because for being there, for being around, I know for fact that there are talents. There are talents in all those places. Even way more talents than the Europe or America. And even Europeans and Americans are sourcing those talents to bring them home. Why not you? Why not you? Okay? And that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Once again, this is STEPHE'S Talk Show, and I will be waiting for you here every Saturday at 12 Central America time, 12 p.m. Central America time. Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe. It's important, literally. Give me your support. Tell me if you have any questions. Leave me some comments. Leave me your point of view. If you need anything, just shout it out. Shout it out. And obviously a little like and subscribing point. And it's going to be enough. Thank you very much for watching. And I see you next Saturday. Ciao.